Alright. This will be the last chapter on your test coming up, which is going to be Tuesday. So this is the last bit of information we'll learn. Alright, first we'll start by reviewing the Pythagorean theorem. What is the Pythagorean theorem? Good. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's the Pythagorean theorem. And we can use that theorem to find the distance between these 2 points. So which side is the distance between these two? The hypotenuse. Good. That's what this is called. And you can't see it here, but that says D. I'm going to make it darker. So let's let D be the distance or the hypotenuse. Okay? The angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And this side from here to here is actually the difference between these two x's. So you can't see it, but that says x2 minus x1. And so the side here is going to be y2 minus y1, the difference in the y's. So let's use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for D. I know we don't have numbers, but let's use letters, okay? So instead of a squared, we could write x2 minus x1 squared. That's this side. Plus what? What can I write for the other side? Good. Equals d squared. Good. And now let's try to solve for D the best way we can. We don't have any numbers, but we can do it just by letters. Okay? So to solve for this, we would just have to do what to D? Square root everything, correct? So D would equal, square root of D squared is D, the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So this is the formula that I wanted you to put in this blank. You can just draw an arrow. And this is actually called the distance formula. What we just found is called the distance formula. Put your phones underneath your desk. I won't take them, but put them underneath your desk. Underneath. That way we won't be distracted. So, to find the distance between 2 points, you just use this formula, the one we just found. So it's the same thing as finding the distance between 2 points on a graph. So here's 2 points. Yes. Here's 2 points. Which ones are our x's? So let's make this x2, x1, x2, y1, y2. And now we'll just use the distance formula that we found right here. So it's D equals square root of, now instead of the formula, tell me what to write for x2. 3 minus squared. So it would be plus, and then the next one it would be
-2
minus.
minus 4.
It'd be y2 minus y1. Oh, sorry. It is right. I made a boo-boo. Don't forget your squared. The squared goes away when you do what now? You're talking about when you take the square root? Yes. It would be if we had like an x, but right now we have to evaluate this first, then take the square root.
Okay.
So 3 minus negative 1 is going to give us what? 4 squared is?
16.
Good. Negative 2 minus 4 is what? Negative 6 squared? 36. Very good. So 16 plus 36 is going to give us what? Square root of 52. And now I actually want to know the distance. So I don't want you to simplify this radical. I want you to tell me the actual value of this radical. So go ahead and type it in your calculator. And tell me what the distance would be. 7.2. Let's round to the nearest tenth. So 7.2 is correct. And you know when you take square roots, you always put plus or minus. Why didn't we do that in this case? You can't have negative distance. Good. Always has to be positive. So the distance between these 2 points would be 7.2. Let's do one more together. Y'all want to do B, C, or D?
DC.
C.
D.
We'll do D. Fine. Has square roots. Okay, so tell me at least how to set it up. It would be what minus what first? Root 5 minus 0 squared plus what else?
0 minus negative root 3.
Squared. Good. This is actually pretty easy. Alright, so we know the square root of 5 minus 0 is just going to be what? Square root of 5. What's the square root of 5 squared? Somebody said it. Just 5. Good. Takes away that. And now here, what's 0 minus negative square root of 3? Just positive square root of 3 and square root of 3 squared. Good. So we're really finding square root of what? 8. And tell me what that would be. 2 point what?
2.8.
2.8. Very good. Try B and D, or excuse me, B and C on your own. And again, what are we calculating? What is this we're doing? The distance between 2 points. Good. Just so y'all know, they told us in this ACT thing that we took, this training, that the distance, there'll always be a distance problem on the ACT. There'll always be one of these. So the formula you'll have to memorize, even though it's not that hard to memorize. So just a heads up. So to find distance, you just plug this stuff in. So here, this is the x what? And y1, this is this is x1, this is and y2. You just plug it in this formula. Yeah. B and C. Go ahead and do those. So 1 minus 4 is what? Squared would be positive 9. Alright, go ahead and compare your answers if you're done. If not, keep working.
Did you put 10? Yeah. And then 10.8 for C. And then which one squared? What did you get? 12 times 12.
Alright, what did y'all get for B? Colby, what'd you get? Yes. Everybody agree?
Miss Courtney,
Yes.
hey, did Solomon Smith make it in?
He is working on the float. He had a pass.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And what'd y'all get for C?
10.8.
10.8. Does everybody agree? 10.8? So we need to go over this one?
Yeah, C.
B.
Okay.
Okay, then somebody tell me, Miles, how to set the formula up.
1 minus -4 equals 2.
Good.
Plus -3
Plus 9.
minus 9.
Good. Squared. So, Alyssa, what is 1 minus -4? And 5 squared?
5 squared
Is what now?
5.
Good. Alright, Logan, this is going to give us what inside this parentheses?
I'm sorry, like a second parenthesis?
Yes.
Let's see. We get 12.
Yes, squared?
104.
Yes, it's actually -12, but it doesn't matter because when you square it, it'll become positive. Alright, and then 25 plus 144 is going to give us what?
169.
And square root of 169 is 13. Do I need to go over C? Everybody's good?
6.8, right?
It is?
I was just going to
Alright, so let's move on. Now let's consider a line segment whose endpoints are x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. The coordinates of the segment's midpoint, do y'all remember midpoint formula?
That's a good question.
It's going to be a coordinate point. The first point is going to be x1 plus x2 over 2. And then the second point as a coordinate point is going to be y1 plus y2 divided by 2. It's the same thing as finding each one's what? This formula is the same as finding the what of something. Yes, the average. Middle, average. Okay? So midpoint, think middle. You're using the median formula.
What's the name of it? Oh.
Midpoint formula. Alright, so for the midpoint of these, we know this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So to find the x coordinate, we add which two coordinates together?
Name 81.
And put it over?
2.
2. Same thing for y's. Does it matter the order you put them in
No.
up top?
No.
Nope, because we're doing what?
The same thing.
No, we're doing
Addition.
addition. It's not funny. Alright. So for your x coordinate, -8 plus 1 is what? -7 over 2. So we'll just leave it as -7 over 2. And then your y coordinate being -10 over 2, which is -5. That's it. So this is in the middle. This coordinate point is in the middle of these 2 points. If you were to graph it on a line, this is what it would look like. 2 endpoints here. This would be dead smack in the middle. I can. Or y'all can do it with me. How about that? Alright, then, Kaya, tell me how to set up for my x coordinate. Good. And for my y coordinate, Victor?
3 halves minus 11 halves.
Good.
Well, that's it.
Good. Alright, so the denominators are the same, so we don't have to change those. We just need to change the tops. So, Darian, what would -7 plus -5 be?
-12.
So -12 over 2 would give us what?
6.
Good. I'm going to go ahead and write it out like this, then I'll fix it. Alright, and on this one, the top would be what? Anybody?
Oh.
Negative what?
Negative
8. Good. Over 2 over 2. So now let's simplify. This is going to be what on top? -6 divided by 2 would be -3. This on top would be -4. -4 divided by 2 would be -2. No, it's a 2. I scratched out something. So it started out being real ugly, then it's an easy midpoint. Alright, do B on your own. Give me the x coordinate, Katie. 3/2. And give me the y coordinate, Kels.
-6.
Does everybody agree? Would it? Nope. Alright, let's check it. So the x's, when it's 6 plus a -3 divided by 2, that would give us a positive 3/2. Did you subtract on accident or something? Okay. Do I need to go over how we got the y coordinate? Everybody good? Alright, flip it. Flip it. Graphing circles is actually easier than graphing lines. I promise. It's so easy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alright, so a circle is the set of all points in a plane that are equivalent, equal distance from the fixed point. So in a circle, it's the same distance from the center of the circle all the way around, right? Perfect circle. And the fixed point is called the center of the circle. Let me zoom out a little bit. So the fixed distance from the center to any point of the circle is called the what? Good. Radius. And if we double it, it's called the diameter. Good. So we're going to look at this picture to the right and figure out how we can find the distance of the radius. Okay? So the distance, again, looks like the what of a triangle. Couldn't I just do this? Yes, it looks like the hypotenuse, right? So same thing we were working on earlier, it's just in a circle now. Make that darker. Okay, so to find the distance, we can take the difference between x, this x value right here, and h, this value right here. And that's actually this piece. This piece right here is the difference between your x values, x and h. And then this is the difference of your y values. And what's your y values for this circle? This one's what? Just y. And this one is k. Y minus k is this side. And that would equal our hypotenuse, which is our what we just said? Radius. Very good. That is the formula. And it's actually not called the formula for the radius. It's actually called the standard form of a circle. This is the standard form of a circle, the thing we just found. The k is just a y value. We couldn't use two y's, or we could. We just had to put y1 minus y2. So that is standard form of a circle. Can you just draw the what now? Sure. Alright, so we're going to take these characteristics of a circle, the center 0, 0, and radius 2, and we're going to write it in standard form. Okay? So the 0 right here is actually our h. It's always going to be h because it comes before k in the alphabet. And the other 0 is going to be our k. So think x and y except h and k.
Is there an easy way to figure this out?
Yeah, going over it. So h comes first because it's the first letter in the alphabet before k. H then k. And then this is r, and all they want you to do is plug this into this formula. We don't know what x is, so we'll leave it. H is 0, so do I even need to write x minus 0 squared? I can just write what? X squared. Same thing for y, so I can just write y squared because k is 0, so I don't need to subtract it. And this would be equals r squared, and what is r squared?
4.
That's it. So x squared plus y squared equals 4 is the equation of this circle.
Are we like simplifying?
We're just finding the standard form for this circle.
Oh, sorry.
So if you were to graph this, Antonio, the center would be at 0, the radius would be 2.
How would you, do you know what it's
I guess you could use this formula. I'll go back and look at that. Alright, let's do one more together. Do y'all have a specific one? D? I heard D first, I think. Alright, so for D, this is our what first? What's the negative 4? H. This is K. So we plug it into this formula, so it'd be x minus what?
-4.
Yes, and an x minus a -4 would be what? Plus 4 squared. Plus, what would I write next?
Yeah. I squared.
Just y squared, because I don't have to subtract 0.
I should put x plus 4 again.
It's the formula. It's x minus h.
I know that was a -4, right?
Yeah, it'd be x minus -4, so that's why it's a positive 4, because the two negatives make a positive. And then equals what number? That's it. That's the standard form of this circle. Go ahead and do B and C on your own.
This one.
Yes. Where'd you get 4 No, that's where it's supposed to be on the outside.
Oh. I'm not put still in before.
It'd be y minus 2 squared. That's it. Instead of putting like plus negative, just change that to what? Yes.
If I had
Squared plus 1 minus 2 squared is 25.
That's the H. All right, mine just like that.
Oh.
confused about trying to find the yes, we probably up 30. There's all just something else we can do.
Square on the outside.
Only 30 back
Put
over.
H first. That's it? Okay.
I'm not the other part.
All right, Antonio, tell me my first one for B.
X minus 3 squared.
X minus 3 squared.
Oh, plus y minus 2 squared equals 25.
Does everybody agree?
I'll agree with that.
All right, Kate, if you'll tell me the next one.
X plus 3 squared plus 5 plus 1 squared equals 3.
Very good. Any of these I need to go over? Yes, and when you square root of 3 squared, it'll just become 3.
Okay, I'll let the rest go past it.
Any questions about those? Okay, so basically, if you look at this, just this part, the standard form, the coordinate point, H and K, are always these last two numbers, except the sign does what? Changes. And the radius is you just square it. So now we're going to take a circle in standard form and identify the center, which is HK, and the radius. Okay? So look in here, what would H be? 2. Good. Same thing here, you just change the sign. K would be what? And R?
3.
Very good. So the center would be at 2, -4. Radius would be at 3.
I get -4.
From right here, you just change the sign. Because the formula is minus H minus K, which means it changes the sign that it originally was. Alright, let's try one more together. So this one, H would be what? 0. There's nothing there. This one, K would be 1, and R would be 1. So the center would be at 0, 1. R would be 1. Very good. Try the next two.
Good job. H in this one would be what?
30.
Change the sign. K would be. Yep. R would be
36.
square root of 36, which is what? That's it. Try that one.
I could let you do it last time. Alright, Miles, tell me H in this one. Darian, tell me the K. Logan, tell me R.
2.
Good, so the center is at,
-2, -2.
and the radius is 2. Good. Alright, Jalen, tell me the H for this one.
-3.
Good. Abigail, the K.
2.
Good. Katie, the R. 6. Very good. So here's the center. Here's the radius. Now let's start graphing. Alright, so flip over. Like I said, these are super easy to do. You start with where the center is, just like any graph. The radius is going to be how far away you go from the center, each direction, right? Talked about a circle is the same thing, same distance from the radius. So what is H in this one?
0.
0. And what is K?
0.
And what is R?
4.
So start your center at what?
0, 0.
And then in every direction, you go how far away? 4. So go up 4, draw a dot, go to the left 4, draw a dot, right 4, dot, down 4, dot, and now you can see it's going to make a circle.
Wait, could you do it again?
Yeah, you just draw the center at 0, 0, go 4 to the left, right, up, down.
Oh.
Not done though, we got to list domain and range. So domain is talking about which values?
X value.
Yes. So how wide is your circle? It's from what to what? Negative
4.
4. Good. To what?
4.
4. So this is how you'd write it. Negative 4 to 4.
What about the range?
For the range, it's talking about y values. So how low does your graph go?
-4.
And how high?
4.
That's it. And these will always be brackets because you're always going to be including those circles. There's not going to be any holes or open circles that you have to worry about. Alright, do B and C on your own.
So it's always going to be different.
Always for circles. And then I'll get 2 people to come graph them and do the domain and range.
Start your center right there. Where's that point? Draw it up. Now in each direction go to what?
Right.
No, the radius is what? So go to left, draw that. To left, draw that. Not from there though, from the center. Other way? And down. That's it. So center. Is correct. Range is up and down. So we go lowest point up. And y value. 2.
So how would you do the domain name range?
Yeah, always has to be smallest versus
That's your symbol. Your domain and range, like on this one, went from
Alright, you want to write the first?
x-axis to x-axis, like where the boundary.
Go ahead and just
to
grab the
domain.
domain range. That is correct. So start at your center. Where's -15? I'll get 300. 2 here on that. Now everywhere from here you're going to go 2. So 2 up, 2 down, 2 left, 2 right. 2 up, draw dot. Start back at the center. 2 down, draw dot. Start right there. 2 left. 2 right center. 2 right.
Okay, what's your last one?
Alright, if you'll scoot it over a little bit. Alright, y'all check it out. Is this what y'all's graph look like?
Yeah.
Yes, she put domain was -5, -1. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
And for the range, she put 0, 4. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Kai. You go. Alright, Brandon, if you'll come draw the second one. And there's a pen already up there. It's good. Alright, take a look. It's a little crooked, but it's
little bit, but-
correct.
My circle was just like it.
Are his domain and range correct? Yes?
Yes.
Alright, no homework tonight. Okay. Don't forget the homework from yesterday's due Friday.
Oh, even.
All evens. Thank you.
Oh, is it even?
Yes, just even problems. That. Yes, ma'am.
No, no.